America by D.S. Hensley. Bang! The glass air shatters in a million shards in flashing lit room where moments before history had come to life on chalkboards by hands that grow younger each year and by parade of dates on questioning voices. Now children hunker in trenches between desks, small loud screams beyond walls, then silence. Nothing now matters but hiding away from easy sight of AK-47, together, alone, shivering mutedly in shelter. Shelterless from dark lit homes burning with depravity of their destitution, they ooze from broken windows and fearsome doorways, chased by shadows and storms of bullets. They wander streets playing deadly games, shouting at the world in broken language, shooting everything that dares to torment. They are smelted into cruel menageries that taunt and slaughter their enemies in random strike of bitter, angry moments. School is the streets, alleyways are the chalkboards, where the lessons written in graffiti and blood stains by children fleeing the light flash a cry and disappear into invisible cacophony of crowds. They see kids with cars and bling, with girls imperially draped around them, kids from castles on the hills with guards that protect their idleness and idolatry. We too have our kingdoms with knights, wearing their colors to protect each other, with AK-47s and stilettos, and flaunt our princesses in leather tights and lipstick, sold to illiterate immigrants from the castles in their polished sleekness of BMWs for a price. They will never know the value. They will never own. Her wiles and manufactured sweetness are ours who rule this kingdom of the streets. These illiterate immigrants from high castles seeking narcosis for their idleness to be hid from the sight of parents who forget the creatures they bore and feed as zoo animals, carry the barely audible pulse of a life. But we know, we see, we see blood run in the streets as dirty rain after a thunderstorm. It is our blood, it is your blood. Mingled in pools on the sidewalk, we coagulate and clot as you. We bear our scars as you haul your books, heavy and laden with history of wars. Our wars fought in the streets with guns that you have made for us. Guns in the angry hands of children in retribution of incarcerated fathers and anguished tears of mothers. Bang! Honor restored. Whistle and boom! Another pockmark on the earth, the acne of war, the relentless disease disfiguring the once beautiful face of the land. The soldiers, drafted young men from the hood, who've packed guns since childhood, educated in the aggrieved reflexes of anger, to draw the world in blood-red colors and trust the righteousness of a bullet. Yet, in the cooling mud of the foxhole, behind the lines of shouting fury, a quiet muzzle flash of remembering. The tickle of a mother waking him, the warmth of blankets on his limbs, the daring swirl of color and graffiti, the loving look of his girl that sees him as beautiful and strong. He stopped wondering what went wrong, if it was ever known, certainly never written. But there is right, too, small, hard to find. That's the poetry of my world, a rap more truthful than the memorized words of those white men with oil-slicked hair, who sent me to die here, to do their work of hatred and destruction while they bulldoze my neighborhood and tear down my childhood memories to erect their stores of cheap seduction. The bullet that tears hole in my chest is no more painful than a hole in my soul, rent by the knives of greed and prejudice, of white men who know not love nor justice, the pale white men who winter in the Alps, who stumble on corpses under cardboard on streets, too sightless and dull to utter excuse us. Hot the sting of bullets tear my tissues. I lay flattened on the earth filled with clouds, eyes, eyes filled with clouds, and bleeding a river. I hear the hiss of the world howl through me, beginning to remember who I am, with the bitter taste of mud in my mouth, and the cloying scent of rain-perfumed grass, and the cooling trickles of rain on my skin. The clouds part and shower me with sunlight to call me home, but where is that? Tears one by one fall from my face into the dirt and seep away in threading streams to be lost in rain. The great rivers of this world start from my eyes. Here, with one man's sorrow and his tide of tears. Great rivers that have carried souls and brought seasons of floods now drying under implacable torrents of heat and drought, cracked lifeless soil where once wheat would sprout, river where cattle and sheep quenched their roving thirst, and salmon would fight punishing currents to spawn, gone. The raging rivers now hieroglyphs etched in charcoal on cave walls, so too the forests that stretched from glade to mountain top, secluding secrets and creatures not seen but heard on symphony of breeze played by the fingers of moon, gone. The diversity of wild beings that roamed the wilderness and roared into the darkness of winking twilight, reduced now to barren monoculture, shrunken to one pitiful croak on the banks of the vanishing waters. Man. His tears too few, too late to recharge the great rivers, on whose banks wind and lovers once cooed together, in vow to forgive and to remember and to dream, with imagination and a kiss to each other tenderly tether, now betrayed, each now exiled to their aloneness, leaving only a child to cry in the street naked with belly swollen in hunger, without a hand to soothe and try to reanimate the vow made at the riverside long ago, that brought him into the world. He cannot hear the warble of the songbird. He cannot feel the warmth of the fireside. He cannot see the flames that engulf him. Only the quiver of death on his skin as company. In the end, he only knows his own pain and the whimper of the world now muted.